and welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're taking a close look at something seemingly quite simple. It's a script from a language learning session called Daily English Speaking Practice Episode 1.
Right, and this one comes from the English podcast channel. The host is Shad, I believe.
Yeah, Shad. And it's really designed for, well, absolute beginners to practice spoken English daily.
Exactly. Daily practice is the key phrase there.
So our mission, really, is to unpack how this pretty concise script actually works for learning.
Yeah.
What are the sort of pedagogical nuggets inside?
And maybe what it tells us about, sticking with a new skill every day, consistent engagement.
Right. Because when you first look at it, it's very simple.
It is.
So, what's the secret sauce? How can just a few sentences be so effective for someone just starting out?
Well, I think what's really interesting is how it sets the tone right away. It's welcoming, practical.
Well, practically.
It doesn't get you bogged down in, complex grammar rules or anything.
A theory.
No, Shad just says, the goal is to practice easy English sentences that you can speak every day. At home, school, with friends.
That focus on immediate use, daily utility. That feels important.
Oh, absolutely critical. For hooking a beginner, getting that initial spark of confidence, you need that.
Yeah, I can see that. And then it jumps right into part 1, warm-up sentences. Things like, good morning, how are you today? And thank you so much. Basic stuff.
Deceptively simple, maybe? Because it avoids all that complexity. It gives learners these, like you said, linguistic high five.
Yeah. Instant usable tools. And the instruction, repeat after me with that little pause.
Genius, isn't it? So simple. It forces immediate active practice.
Building that muscle memory for communication, right?
Not just reading.
Exactly. That direct repetition, it builds confidence. There's no pressure yet to create your own sentences. You're just mirroring.
Right.
It helps overcome that fear of sounding silly that stops so many people.
Right, the hesitation. It's like training wheels for the language. Perfect analogy. Building balance, momentum, before you even realize you're doing it.
And then it flows into part 2, real-life practice. A tiny conversation.
Super brief. Hello, hi, how are you?
Keeps the complexity way down, but you get that back and forth rhythm.
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. And you? Basic, but you need it every day.
And including, I'm learning English. That's a clever touch. It validates the learner.
It does. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it's minimal viable learning, right?
Minimal viable learning. Explain that.
Instead of this huge textbook or long, daunting conversations, you get these bite-sized chunks, manageable pieces.
Okay, like building with single bricks, not trying to lift a whole wall.
Exactly. It avoids that cognitive overload, that feeling where your brain just shuts down.
It've all been there.
And crucially, it encourages that daily habit, makes the small win feel achievable.
And the script wraps up with motivation, part 3.
The mindset part.
Yeah. English is not hard. Just speak daily, even small sentences. Mistakes are okay. That really jumped out.
Yeah, what matters is practice and confidence. It's almost more about psychology than linguistics at that point.
Tackling the fear head on.
Right. Which makes you wonder how much of learning is actually about overcoming those mental barriers versus just absorbing info.
Interesting point.
This script normalizes mistakes, emphasizes confidence, speak better every day. Isn't about instant fluency.
No, it's about small steps, incremental progress.
Which is realistic, especially for beginners who might just quit otherwise.
Okay, so summing this up, this simple script really shows the power of consistency, doesn't it?
Definitely. Consistent, simple engagement.
From those warm-up phrases that build initial confidence
Like, good morning.
to the short practice dialogues, it builds things up gently.
And what's fascinating, I think, is how these principles, consistency, embracing mistakes, breaking things down, small wins they aren't just for language.
No, not at all. They're universal.
Think about learning code or an instrument.
Or public speaking,
Yeah.
Anything complex.
These ideas apply everywhere.
So maybe the final thought for you, the listener, is, how could this daily small sentences idea apply to something you're trying to master?
Right. What's one tiny thing you could practice daily in your field? Something manageable.
Something that builds that momentum, fosters confidence, and cuts down the overwhelm. What's your small sentence for today?
Definitely something to think about. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Until next time.
Keep learning.